Got a comment here from Braytalk. I don't know. I don't really care. Braytalk9762. It says, 2 years around and you have 3K subs? Not even 200 likes on this video? Damn, look at you. Your stupid, ridiculous opinions are really resonating with people. Good job, buddy. 3 laughing with crying emojis. All right, guys, I guess that's it, right? I mean, I should just pack it up and go. This is going to be my last video on this channel. I am not living up to Braytak's expectations, someone who doesn't really engage with my content. So since he is dissatisfied with what I'm doing, I guess it's time for me to walk away from all of this. Or the fact that you're actually on my video commenting tells me that what I'm doing is actually working. Maybe, possibly. Just kidding. Not going anywhere, guys. But I wanted to use this comment as sort of a jumping off point for me to talk about some of my interactions with the fans of Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and all these other channels, and how low intelligence kind of walks hand in hand with these guys and the way they view the channels that they engage with and the communities they're a part of. Because I think it is really interesting when you kind of look at the ones that are willing to go over and comment on videos and stuff like this. Now, my response to this was talking about how the truth isn't popular. People prefer to be lied to sometimes, live in their echo chambers. It's validating. And when you have people with low intelligence and other issues in their lives, that's what they seek out. This person, like many of the people that watch these channels, most likely felt like an outcast to the communities that they wanted to be a part of. And they kind of stumbled in to Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker and a lot of the other channels. And this isn't like an assumption, really. I mean, these are the kind of stories I hear a lot from the vast majority of people who are still engaged with these communities, is that they're there because that's the group that they got stuck with. They got radicalized by these channels. They go out and they leave comments like this on people's videos, which I find it very funny. But let's talk about this. Let's break this all down. So the interesting thing is I get comments like this quite often, sort of justifying my stances on things, or as he says, stupid, ridiculous opinions on things, not being valid because of the amount of people who are engaging with my content. As if that's not some sort of game of chance on YouTube. First and foremost, every channel has to sort of have YouTube on their side to grow. Otherwise, they're stagnant. And you kind of have to keep playing with the algorithm until you figure that out. But these guys don't care about that. That's boring to them. It's much easier for them to just align themselves with the channels that they feel like are the most successful, the channels that are winning, the channels that are fighting back, the channels that have more subs and more views, because they don't really care about necessarily the value of the words that those channels are saying. They just care about them being on the winning side because they're afraid to actually fight for anything. They're afraid to actually be part of a movement or a cause or some sort of group that's out here trying to do the right thing. Sometimes the right thing isn't the most popular thing. That's first and foremost. But the other thing that jumps out with me about these kinds of comments is, what if I had 3 million subs? Let's just put this out there in the world. What if I had 3 million subs and Nerdrotic had less subscribers than me and I was still critiquing him on his content? Would that make me right in their eyes? Braytalk, would that make me right if I had more subs and more likes than Nerdrotic? Would that change your opinion about what Nerdrotic is saying? And would you then be on my side because more people are resonating with me? Is that the metric? That the person with the most subs and the most likes is the one that is right, default, and there's no disputing that. So if I were fighting with someone who was saying the same thing as Nerdrotic and they had 1K subs, would you agree with me then? Would I be right then? If somebody who is saying the same thing Nerdrotic has been saying and Critical Drinker's been saying, if they were a smaller channel and I highlighted them, would I be right at that point? Or would it be a different goalpost? Would it change? What if, just by chance, Nerdrotic were saying the things he's saying and he only had 5K subs? Would you still agree with him? Because what's happening here is you are not challenging anything that I'm saying in this video. And the vast majority of people who support channels like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker don't challenge what I'm saying in the video. There's usually 3 types of fans that I deal with. There's these type of fans who care about the popularity of those channels and try to diminish what we're doing to try and bully us out of making content, which maybe it'll work on other people. It won't work on me. So it's kind of a pointless thing for them to do this. It doesn't matter to me. I don't really care about that stuff. The second group that I get are the people out here just repeating the talking points of the channels they're watching. So they're not actually people giving their own opinions. They're literally just using buzzwords and terms and phrases that these channels use, and there's nothing else there. And if you try to challenge them on that, and I have several times in the comments, there's no replies, there's no responses, because all they're doing is repeating what these guys say. They don't really mean or understand or know, or it can even be literate enough to understand what these guys are saying to them. So they just kind of tap out. The minute they get challenged, they tap out, they run away. They don't want to have anything to do with that. And the last group I get are the pseudo-intellectual guys. And these are the ones who want to watch 7-hour essay videos about why Star Wars sucks. And basically they feel like they're more intelligent than everybody else. And because they have these other channels that are successful at cultivating outrage, they feel like they can piggyback on that, come into a comment section, not showing their face, not showing who they are, and just their success is totally dependent on these other channels being successful. So those are the 3 types of people I get typically. The pseudo-intellectual ones are not the ones that I get the most often, because those guys typically want to make money off of outrage, so they're going to make channels. The other 2 happen quite a lot. Now, Braytac, I do want to point out, I took a look over at your channel, and I noticed that you have 0 subscribers. You have no videos on your channel to look at. You've been around since January of 2022, so you've been around for a minute, Braytac. And your comment here, you only got 2 likes, which is less likes than I got on the video that you're replying to. So by your standard, that would mean you are wrong and I'm right. Because my channel has more subs than you, I have more videos than you have, and I got more likes on my video than you got on your comment. So I guess that means I'm right. We're just using your standard. This is your standard. We've reached a point on the internet where idiocy has taken over. The success and popularity of something does not mean it is right. It never has, really. But we have a bunch of people now that truly believe that as long as their team is getting more views, more likes, and more comments, that they are the ones that are winning. And that is such a really unintellectual way to look at the kind of media that we're talking about, the kind of discussions that we're having. But they're going to continue to do that because this is all they have. This is all they have. They can't defend the positions of the channels they're watching because they're even dumber than the people who are grifting to them. I'm going to say that again. These people are such low intelligence that the people that are just slightly smarter than them have allowed them to be pay pigs for their content. And here's where we are. This is where we're at. The last thing I want to point out, and this is probably the most funny to me out of all of it, is he goes, your stupid, ridiculous opinions are really resonating with people. Replying to a video where I am debunking Nerdrotic with actual legal information about why companies can't lie about budgets and tax rebates and stuff like that. So I'm on a video giving out specifically information, factual, provable, researchable information versus Nerdrotic's crazy meth-induced rantings about Disney, right? With no proof whatsoever. And somehow my video, according to Braytac, is a stupid, ridiculous opinion, but Nerdrotic's, again, crazy, wacky conspiracy theories about Disney, those are the things that you believe. I don't think I really have to say much more about that. Like, if that's what you're willing to do, then you have larger problems than a unimportant YouTube existence that only serves to go out and suck off all of these channels that you seem to love so much. So you can keep giving them virtual blowjobs. I'm not going to ick your yum. I'm not going to kink shame you. You can keep giving them the virtual blowjobs, virtual hand jobs, all that stuff. That's fine. But I'm not going to stop doing what I do because your perception of my success seems lower than what you would like. How about you work on yourself a little bit? And then we can have a conversation later. Braytac.